Hey everyone, we're loading up a 10-minute game. We've got an opponent rated 1534, exactly the same as me. Okay, should we go Vienna or go Danish? I'm going Danish. I'm kind of inclined to go back to it yet again, because it's just so exciting. You give up, in many cases, a couple of pawns in return for all the activity and the attacking chances, and it's a really good way to teach you to force that pressure, really apply that pressure. Because if you don't, you let your opponent castle and just rationalize everything, then you're going to go into the middle game 1 or 2 pawns down, and that just is not very... Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Now, if takes, I can't just take back. So, I think knight takes is probably the best thing. Queen b3 is also an idea, but the queen now defends the f7 pawn, so... Okay, so here's the situation. We are, what, 1 pawn down? Okay, you're trying a cheeky one. Little sly checkmate threat. Well, knight f3 just prevents that. If bishop takes, I take. I'm now going to get to castle as well, but I also now have this move as well. Very common move from the Vienna. Once your queen's knight is out, to come in and harass this queen off of here. And then she can't go there either. So that would work really well in conjunction with having my queen on b3. Because the queen would then really have to go to g6 to defend this pawn, eh? Okay, so queen g3 is definitely playable. This is also playable. Nice developing move. Just controlling more squares, and more importantly, removing squares away from queenie, because she's got to pick her steps very carefully now. In fact, I think this forces g6 immediately. So now this... The queen is there. So, I mean, if queen b3, I'm not really threatening that. The question is, do I castle now? I can also come in here. I can also come in with a knight. Threaten c7. Although, notice... Oh, no, the bishop's defended. Okay, let's do it. Forwards, always forwards. And the queen now cannot get back to defend c7. The knight can defend c7, but then bang, 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 we win ourselves the exchange. Nice, Bentley. Nice. Charming. Yeah, I'm sure everyone really wants to hear that. Dirty get. We have a bloody cat giving birth as well today. It's all going off today. I'm on a chess podcast later on with an IM. I'll give you the link later when it's done. It's interesting. Okay, so you got a problem, Blackie. Got a problem. I might have to go and revisit all my Danish theory again if I'm going to go back to this. All right, I mean, takes, he should take with the a-pawn. The question, Raymond, is, do we want to take that bishop out? Now, how dangerous is that bishop? Do I just want to castle? I don't think castling is in the spirit of the thing. Now, takes, I've got like queen up. I really just want to be buzzing all around black like a swarm of hornets, you know. Here, queen can't go there, there. She can, however, capture this pawn. Yeah? If this, queen takes here. So why don't we castle now and see if we can trick the queen into taking this. A queen-king pin in the Danish is really, really common. Okay. Now here... Okay, here he's got... takes the knight. If I recapture, then that's just undefending that bishop, right? So... this is still a risk, actually. Even if I like move the queen, you're trying to take out the knight. If I attack the queen, though, You take this. I take your queen, attack the rook. I think that's probably the way to go. In a longer game, I'd probably take a bit more time to figure that out. So if you take the knight, I take the queen with check. You have to capture. Well, it doesn't work. Oh no, it doesn't come with check. You take knight, I take queen. You have to take queen. I take rook. You can't recapture, but I can recapture your bishop. I think that's the way it rolls. You take knight, lose queen. Take queen, take rook. I'm up in exchange. Bishop retreats. I'm up in exchange. No, I'm up a whole rook. No, I'm not. I'm up in exchange. So I'm -3 plus 6. -3 again. But then +2. And you've got to recover your bish. Yeah, I'm up in exchange. Oh, interesting. Okay. Didn't figure that one out. Okay, take. Right, you're now +4, but I have the bishop. Do I also have an in-between move with like bishop takes f7 check? King has to move. Bishop can't do anything about it. It's defended. Then I get the bishop. I'll capture with the A rook. King's going to have to move. See, if you love tactics, these Gambit lines, man, it's the way to go. Truly is. Okay, recapture here. Probably rook fe1. Okay, so again he's trying to remove the defender, but I have an out here. I have knight d5 check. Also threatening this bishop, and on a board like this, bishop's trump knight, so king's gonna have to move, and he can't go there, and he can't go there. And he can't go there. Righty. Huh. Now I can take the bishop. Then he can take one of these. I can give check. That doesn't really work because it blunders the thing. Here, again, he can take one of them. I don't know. If I take knight, I'm inclined to keep the bishop on the board. That's my thing. But in order to do that, I have to give up this. So I take here, actually, I'm threatening the rook. So you've got to recapture the knight, yeah? But then again, I've got the same problem. I've got two pieces threatened. So I think what I have to do, I think I have to take the knight. Don't I? That's under attack, and that's under attack, and that's the defender of that. So if I move my knight, I lose, even if this... Yeah. Okay. I think I really should eliminate that bishop. Okay, you have a choice of knights, but you've got to capture this one because this one would double and isolate your pawns. There you go. And now I have a check. Now I have a hanging pawn there, which is a pain, but I also have this. King goes here, that's the blunder. Okay, so I take... Rook can take here. I can come back with check. Don't see any other way around it. Okay, I come back with check. It's defended square. And I'm kind of happy with my pawns. Look, isolated, doubled and isolated. Alright, I have another pawn here, should I wish. My rook's also going to be looking at this. Knight's defended. I could just save the pawn. Material is equal. I'm not too concerned about this being a doubled pawn. I'm also not too concerned about my own b-pawn. I could lift a rook. I could think about doubling rooks. There's the thought. I could play b4, defended by the knight, at least temporarily. But I think keeping it probably on the 7th, where my rook can also defend here, kind of makes sense. Whereas the king headed this way, but then I've got f3, so let's do this. I've got checks as well, got a couple of checks here. Always worth bearing in mind. So we've got a 4 and a 1, against a 2, a 2, and a 1.5. Because that one doesn't really count. Because it's very hard to defend. Okay. So I'm thinking double up. I've got f3. This pawn is safe. These pawns are highly at risk, and this knight hasn't moved yet. This check. He has to come here to attack the knight. I've got more checks, and I win this pawn outright. Here, if he comes here to attack the... Oh, no. Okay. Right, so here, that's a fork on king and pawn. So, what's not to like? Now, if I take this pawn with the rook, I do undefend b2, so I've got to be a bit careful. These games can all come down to a single pawn. Okay. f3, I think is good. I'd like to hang on to this pawn. If I takes... Oh, I've got another pawn. Okay. I've got that pawn anyway, actually. That pawn is mine. If this king moves, I've got 2 attackers, so f3. He'll probably push the b pawn now. I can go there anyway. I can also centralise the knight. It's a very good square on d5 there. See, these 2 pawns here on the b file, they're going to be a long-term target for me. Because this pawn's undefended right now. This pawn's defended only by the king. These 2 are completely undefended, so let's orange that one. So that's defended only once, but I can hurry that king away. Yeah, rook d5 with check. He can't go there, he can't stay there. He's got to go here or here. In fact, the pawn's mine anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking that the check stops him capturing on b2 at least. But I'll probably try and take this guy out and then... I don't know. Okay. Get my knight here. There. Yeah? I can always throw in a check, but it's a bit one-dimensional. He pushes that pawn, I can just capture with check and then retreat back to d2 to save this pawn. So it's looking very much like I'm going to go up a pawn up. He's really got to play rook d8 or rook f6 to defend this pawn now. If he wants to save it. If he advances it, it's just lost. Take, retreat. Okay, I can now take the pawn with that, and I'm also then threatening to come back here. Defending this with check. Looking good. Also attacking another loose pawn, you see. Pawn defense matters. And I'm very content with my little structure here. And my king's really had not much to do in the game so far, whereas his king is right out in the middle of the bloody battlefield. Going a horse, my kingdom for a horse, innit? Okay, so we can always throw in a check. Let's just check this. He does always have this square. This rook's out of range. We know this. This is 4 jumps for a knight to cover that distance. So I think we can grab the pawn. I'm not concerned about this. Just take the knight. Always throw in the check. He's down to 2 minutes 14. Okay. King comes in. Pawn takes. I've got g takes. Here is good. That's a fork on king and rook. Notice the long L, like a long knight's move, or a normal knight's move would be this one, right? A long knight's move is knight forkable. This threatens forking. See, the Danish Gambit is one of the gambits that is most reputable. It can be played at the highest level. I mean, obviously the Queen's Gambit is played a lot. The King's Gambit, not so much. But the Danish is really, no one can say it's been actually refuted. This is what I like. And of course there are various anti-Danishes around. But, oh hello. Okay, right, I'm going in for this, plan A. And you also need to defend that as well. So, like, rook here, but he may then miss the fork. He does that. So, what is the story of this game? This is a really good thing to try and go over in your own mind. And you see he's missed the king rook fork there, and that's curtains. No. That is all she wrote. Now is the king going to go? 1, 2, 3 squares is all he's got. And this one here comes with another check when I take the rook. I'm going to take the rook anyway. I think he's going to run his clock down now. So when this is over, I'll just pre-move the capture, just to bounce it back on him if he does squeeze a move in. There we go. Okay, he's run out of time. Anyway, good game. Good game, and I'm +9 there. Okay, so before you analyse, it's good to go over the game. Okay, here we go. And it's saying knight takes c3 is the only move here. Okay, I'm not really going to look too much at the lines. Let's just look at the story of the game. Okay, he's threatening a check. Knight f3, yeah, is nearly +1.5 now for white. Look, I'm already ahead in development, and I'm ready to castle. Right. His compensation is he's got 1 extra pawn. Because he spent the first, 3 moves, are all pawn moves. He comes in here, that's a mistake. Knight d5. Okay, alright, so the machine's saying I should have gone straight in with an attack on this. Queen actually would then have to go back to d8. Yeah, that would force her right back. So I threw this one in first. That's not quite so good. Queen to here. Now the knight goes in, hanging this pawn. But nobody noticed that. He was only worried about this fork. You see, that's just an awareness matter. I mean, I was unaware because now actually in real life a lot of the time you do sacrifice this pawn, you know, very often to a knight. You like, say you've got a knight here, the queen's looking at that pawn, the queen's on one of these squares, very often here. So very often you allow the knight to take, your knight takes, their queen takes, and you just dodge out the way. And then on the next move you slam a rook into e1, pinning the queen on the king and winning. Okay, so here I castle, which is the best move, +3. And again, he missed the hanging pawn, but king f8 here is actually the best move. Wow. Okay, and the machine's now saying push e5. Push e5 in front of the king. Yeah, I guess that's quite aggressive, but we don't have a major piece on e1. Okay, so I do this. I'm harassing the queen. The queen can now take the bishop, which she does. And now bishop takes f7. Oh, what? Bishop takes f7 is best. And if king takes, we take the queen with check. Oh, I love it. I love it. We take the queen with check and then win the bishop. Oh. Okay, and now bishop take. Okay, there we go. Yeah, best move. But now, so what's happened with this, you know, the story of the game is, I have this development lead because I've played a gambit, right? This is my trade-off for the pawn. He develops a piece. And now we trade off a bunch of stuff. And here, because of this, his kings had to move. And look at the inactivity of these rooks. And both the horses are still in their horse boxes, right? So it's a knight d5 check. Knight d5 check is good here, yeah? Huh, there was a better move here. It's knight g6 check. Oh, missed that one. Did you spot that one at home? Goodness me. That's just winning the rook. Oh, yeah. That was foolish. Okay, king goes back. Here I take. It doesn't like that. It's saying knight takes c7, bishop takes c7, knight e6, another knight fork. Oh, man, I need to sharpen up my knight fork skills. Yeah? But really, this is the situation, right? His rooks are only just starting to wake up. This knight still hasn't woken up. And his king is exposed. Look at my king. Safest house is there. That is the story of the game, guys. And I would say that for this reason, the Gambit paid off. Because I got the destruction of Black's position. Even though Black was up in material for a while, he paid the price in terms of, well, I got the compensation. I got mucho compensation, right? And just now stuff just starts to fall. His king is now stranded in the middle of the board. He's got double pawns, right? And it's just not good. It's +3 here for white, even though material is equal. So there you go. Interesting one. I do love me a little slice of Danish, I have to say. Okay, thanks for watching all you guys. See you soon.